So June is probably the most active month in a farmer's calendar. Well, that's my opinion anyway. My name is Mary if you're new here, and I'm sitting here all cloaked up because it is raining cats and dog outside. And so June is one of the months that we here in Jamaica, and I know in a number of other countries, we do a lot of planting. And if you're new to gardening, or even if you're not, but you're not unsure of seeds that you can plant, or plants in general that you can plant during the month of June, I have a ton of examples for you. It's not limited to these seeds only. I'm just sharing with you a number of seeds that you can plant during the month of June, and they're quick crops. They'll produce quickly. It is not as hot anymore, and it's not as cold for some places, and it is not as hot, so it is perfect planting conditions for the most part. So I'm just going to go through some of the seeds that you are able to plant in June, and they will do well no matter where you are in the world, unless it's somewhere that the weather is extreme, like way up north. But for the most part, these, doesn't matter your zone, these should do well. And first on the list is tomatoes. All sorts of tomatoes. I have plenty tomatoes. I'm just using this one. This is a pineapple tomato that I grew last year, and it did exceptionally well, and so I just use this as an example. You can start tomatoes now. If it is you purchase, starts, no problem. But even if you're just planting from seeds, tomatoes will do well because it's not yet that hot. Some tomatoes does not do well in the extreme heat of summer, but these should grow and do well. Another crop that you can plant now is okra. Okra love the warmer parts of the year, and so okra should do well. Not everybody likes okra, but if you know how to prepare it, it is delicious and not as slimy as you think, and it is nutritious. So this is something good you want to introduce to your garden if you've not already been growing okra. Melons, all sorts of melons. They love warm temperatures, and so it is ideal coming out of spring going into summer to plant all sorts of melons. This is cantaloupe. I've planted cantaloupe, honeydew, canary melons, all sorts of melons, and watermelons also. These love warm temperatures and will do really well. You start them now. Throughout the summer you should get lovely melons from your vines should you start them in June. Another crop you can plant in June is beans, all sorts of beans. This is another example. You can yard long beans, green beans, lima beans, all sorts of beans. It's a thunderstorm we're having outside. I hope you're hearing me clearly. So you can go ahead, and this is Kentucky Wonder Bean. It does well here in Jamaica and elsewhere. I've watched other gardeners plant this, and it does extremely well. Now I have seeds from all sorts of companies, guys. I'm not affiliated with not one of them. I'm sharing the ones that does well for me. Oh no, this one I'm not sure if it will do well. This is new to me, but sunflower, it's not a vegetable, but you can enjoy the seeds as a nut, and so I include it in my garden. Planted it last year, and I'll be planting it this year as well. Rain wetting up my seeds, guys. Hold on. Can't afford that. Seeds expensive. Can plant some herbs like basil. Another thing that I'm just showing you one example of. This is basil, and it does well in warm and cool temperatures. So this is perfect to plant, and this also helps with the pests in your garden, especially with your tomatoes and the hornworms. And so you want to introduce some basil. They grow really quickly. They germinate in a matter of days, and once they germinate and start to grow, they get growing. Another companion plant for my vegetables, especially my peppers and tomatoes with white flies, is marigold. This can be eaten as a vegetable, by the way. The leaves can be eaten, the flowers can be eaten. We don't eat it, but we plant it for beauty and for pest control. Excellent to start at this time of the year. Also, peppers, all sorts of peppers. Love the warm climate. It is warming up now, coming out of some countries experience really cool spring. Now it should be warming up. Peppers. This is Anaheim chili. I have habanero peppers. This is similar to Scotch bonnet pepper, Jamaican Scotch bonnet pepper. I have bell peppers, all sorts. They all love the warmer temperatures. This is diamond bell pepper, and I also have the lilac bell pepper. These are currently growing in the garden, and I recently got this blend from a subscriber. So any peppers, plant any peppers at this time of the year and they will do well. As I said, all sorts of peppers. I have tons of cayenne peppers growing in the garden. A lot of these. Which one is this? Wax pepper. This is similar to sweet banana pepper. It looks exactly the same, but this one is super hot. Plant your peppers. This is another one. No, I always say I bought this pepper and it says hot. Now here is the evidence. It says hot pepper. This pepper is one of the sweetest pepper I've planted in my garden. Poblano pepper. It is not hot. This is a sweet pepper. I'll show when I'm able to get in the garden again. I will show you that pepper. We enjoy it. It is sweet, very, very sweet. Now, these vegetables that I'm showing you, majority of them are international seeds. So for those of us living in Jamaica, if you're not able to get these seeds, you can plant the ones available in Jamaica. We are able to plant almost all year round, but we still suffer from the extreme heat later on in the summer. So these you'll benefit also from planting them early in the summer, like June, July, September, and August and September are really, really hot. They probably are the hottest month here. So it would benefit you to plant them now rather than wait until later on. Now, if you do not have the seeds I'm showing you, plant similar seeds to them, especially the ones tailored to our climate. So I say that to say this is one local pack of turnip. Perfect time to plant turnip. It is similar to beetroot, you know, it operates, it like a little bit of shade, a little bit of sun, but it does well this time of the year. So, and it grows quickly too. So if you're able to get your hand on some turnip seeds, plant those now. Also, corn. I plant all sorts of corn, guys. This is peaches and cream. This is one of the most delicious corn I've ever eaten. It literally tastes creamy. It is so good. It has a mixture of white and yellow grains on there. But as I said, any corn that you're able to find, you can plant it in the month of June and they should do well. They produce it in 3 months. Most of these produce within 3 months, and so you should be able to harvest these June, July, August, September. By September, you're enjoying your corn. And most of these, I'm not seeing any that will go maybe further down, but most of those that I showed you before, they're ready by 3 months. Squashes. This is crooked neck squash. Almost all squashes, well, all the summer squashes that I know, and even the winter squashes, they do well in the warmer part of the year, and then you store away the winter ones for the cooler part of the year. So it's perfect now to plant squashes such as crooked neck squash, zucchinis. This is zucchini. Zucchinis. This is straight neck. It looks like the crooked neck, but it's a little different. It is smoother and it's shaped just like the zucchini. So the zucchini will look something like this. This is a cucumber, but this zucchini would look something like this, but the green version of this. And then the crooked neck squash has a smaller neck and a bigger belly. Those are perfect to be planted right now. Cabbages, perfect to plant now. In some countries, cabbages are considered cool weather crops, but there are different varieties of cabbages. So if it is warm like it is here in the tropics, you want to get the cabbages that will do well in warmer climates. At this time of the year, usually you plant cabbage closer to fall or early spring, so that the heat does not kill them off. But there are cabbages that does well in the warmer months. So when you're purchasing your cabbage seeds, ensure that you check this little thing back here, and it will tell you which cabbage will do well in your zone. You can also double check online to see the cabbages that will see here. This says plant between April to June. That's the most favorable. March, April, and June and July. Yeah, so you can plant this variety. You should be able to plant now, and it should do well in the early warm months, because it's gonna get hot later on. Eggplants, perfect time to plant eggplants as well. They will do well. It is not super hot yet. It is super hot here in Jamaica, but most countries it is not super hot yet. So eggplants will do well. This is Rosa Bianca. I grew this in my garden. I still have some, and it did well, and it's very warm here in Jamaica. So this is a good one to plant at this time. Should do perfect. Another set of vegetables to plant right now are carrots. And I should mention that most of the seeds I showed you, they can be direct sowed. So when you direct sow, it takes a shorter amount of time for them to get to maturity, because you don't need to move them from one container to the next, and they have to re-establish themselves to become acclimatized and stuff like that. So when you direct sow and the growth continues without any interruptions, usually they come quicker. Most of these that I'm showing you can be direct sowed. Maybe the cabbage need to be sowed and then transplanted, but for the most part, all of these can be planted where you intend on growing them. So carrots are excellent to be planted now, and any type, as long as it is tailored to your climate. It's best to purchase your seed in your zone. If you're purchasing online, you do your homework, ensure that the seeds that you're purchasing will do well in your zone. Carrots, perfect to be planted in June as well. Beetroot, no. Beetroot, for most countries, beetroot will do well at this time. I am a little iffy about where I am living. Some parts of Jamaica still very cool, like Mandeville and so on, but here where I'm living, it is hot, and so if I'm to plant beetroot, I need to plant it where it is semi-shaded, so it does not get full sunlight. So if the sun rises on it by the time midday or 1-2 o'clock, a tree or a bigger plant need to be shading out the beets, or they will not do well. So if you're planting like corn and larger plants like callaloo, those big cocoa plants, or so, you can interplant your beetroot so they're partially shaded. But it is perfect time to plant beetroot as well in the month of June. Just have to be mindful where you plant them, because beetroot does best in semi-shaded areas, but they love the warmth. All sorts of onions and scallions and so on can be planted in the month of June. This is bunching onion. This is similar to, I'm not even sure if this is what we call scallion in Jamaica. because it grows exactly like scallion or escallion, depending on how you pronounce it. And this grow all year round here, but and it also tolerates cooler temperatures. So if you plant this, it should go way up to winter. If it is you harvest it in that way, you just cut off the top and they keep growing back. It will last the entire summer, going through fall and into winter before they die back. If they even die, it probably survive winter depending on how cold it is where you are. But it is perfect to plant bunching onions, scallions, onion, all of those alliums at this time in the month of June. Not garlic though, it is too hot for garlic now. Just the onions. Squashes, well, I spoke about the summer squashes. Oh, and the difference, I believe someone asked, the difference between winter squash and summer squash. This is a winter squash. It does not mean it is planted during winter. It is planted during the summer months. Spring, summer, fall, just like the summer squash. The difference is with the skin or the rind on the outer surface of the vegetable is hard, and so it can be stored for a very long time. I've had butternut squash. This is a butternut squash. I've had butternut squash lasting the entire year, and so that's the difference between the winter squash. And they're of a harder texture. The meat of it is similar to pumpkin. I think pumpkin is a winter squash as well, the hard skin ones. I'm watching my seeds because the rain blowing in. So the texture of the flesh is harder. The summer squash, they're similar to cucumber.